Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Lance Twidwell with The Spoken. I'm here with our obvious guest. You guys have seen him many times before. This is X Factor Ty Rowton with a couple other super fans. I just want to let you guys know we're out here at the training camp right here in St. Joe, Missouri. Ready to get this thing going, ready to see this season start off. But before then, we have a very special guest with us, former Chiefs great, very vocal, very opinionated. We know him very well through radio shows throughout the local area, Bill Maas. And we want to add him to the show right now. Bill, can you hear us?
Do you hear us, Bill?
Yeah, I got you.
How you doing, Bill? How you doing today, man?
Great, buddy. What's going on?
Well, if you, yeah, obviously, I don't know if you heard me. My name is Lance Twidwell. Obviously, we want to have you on the show today. Just a couple questions today. I'll let Ty ask the question after I ask the first. Just, looking at this team now, looking at the roster we have after the draft has already taken place. Obviously, we see that the players have all been signed. What is your biggest expectation this year? What is your prediction as far as record is concerned, and what players do you want to see emerge? Whether it's the rookies, whether it's the veterans, doesn't matter. Just what players do you want to see take that biggest step this season?
There's a couple questions in that, but let me just start with saying that I think this team is so greatly improved in the offseason. It's probably the biggest improvement in the offseason we've seen maybe since when Marty Schottenheimer took over the organization. And the reason I say that is that everybody's on the same page. And I don't think they've been that way for quite some time. I think it's been a little bit in disarray. The offseason program, the leadership that Scott and that they're going to provide, the way they're going to do things, that in and of itself is so essential to winning. Everybody has a defined role. Everybody knows exactly what's expected of them. And all those things are so important. When you're forever changing what you're doing, there's no form of consistency. And that's what was there in the last few years. So I expect a lot out of this year. Let's get to why. The reason is, I think in our division, from top to bottom of the roster, on our roster, we have the greatest depth, the best roster there is in the division. Do we have the most star-studded players? No. But do have, in my opinion, the best 54-man roster. And that's essential, and that's going to come into play throughout the course of the season. Who do I want to step up? Who needs to step up? Well, number one, the most important thing is the offensive line. Matt Castle has taken a lot of heat, not only from fans. I criticize Matt, but the offensive line doesn't give him time, and they haven't. Especially the middle three has been very, very tough, and that pocket closes really fast on him. I want to see some improvement with the front three. Hudson stepping in to take over the center position. John Asamoah, it's time. Get a year under your belt. Third year coming in, it's time. The addition of Winston is a big plus. And, of course, Ryan Lewis is up there in age, but he's still a guy that can get it done. But the interior offensive lineman really needs to improve. If they improve, your running game falls in place. We have a triple-headed monster back there in the backfield. We're going to get yards on the ground. And then we can choose when to pass and not have to pass. And that's going to be all those things. Running game, line protection, and passing when you want to pass and not have to pass. All those things combined will make for a good Matt Castle.
Awesome, Bill. This is X Factor. Real quick, I've got, in the last 20 years, I looked up a fact. There's only been once where we drafted two first-round picks in the same draft. You happen to be one of those guys with a guy named John Auld. And just the similarities to the other time it happened when Dorsey and Albert were drafted, defensive lineman and with the 5th overall pick, which you were, and so was Dorsey, and then Albert at 16 and Auld at 21. Can you talk about the similarities and talk about Dorsey and Albert's game, especially how they've come along the last couple years?
What I like about both those guys that were similar to John and I is that these guys, continue to work. That there is no ceiling. You can't put a ceiling on them. You can put them in maybe uncompromising positions, such as Dorsey, and force him to play a position he's probably not built for. He'd probably like to be doing something else, but he never stops working, and neither does Albert. And that's what makes both of these guys good quality starters in the NFL. And they're young still, and they keep working. They keep working hard, and they can get over that hump to become great players, and you certainly hope for that. I think that the addition of Poe in the middle is gonna help Dorsey. It's gonna help Jackson. When you have to account for 3 people on that line with five linemen. That's a tough thing to do. When you only have to account for maybe 1 or 2, and they're not a big factor, it's easy to do. So Poe, I think, is going to up the play of the defensive line, and I think that Brandon Albert is just one of those guys that year in and year out, if he's healthy, he's always going to get better.
Real quick, Bill. This is Lance again. Real quick, what's the Chiefs' record going to be this year?
I would be really disappointed if they didn't get to 10 wins. We saw last year, we saw injuries. We know how that can affect us. But given a clean slate and a healthy team, I would be really disappointed if they didn't get 10.
And are they going to win a playoff game this year?
If they should be. With 10, they should be.
All right. Well, I appreciate the time, Bill. We have to go, man. I'm sorry we have to wrap this up, but I hope this won't be the last time we have you on the show, man.
No problem, Jordan. Thanks.
Thanks, Bill. Well, that's it for The Spoken. This is X Factor along with other super fans. Just want to congratulate everybody that's out here. And if you guys ain't out here yet, you need to come out here and check it out and come say hi with us. But this is The Spoken. This is Lance Twidwell. We'll see you guys soon.